Watercooler, Watercooler, Watercooler.
Hey, brother. Welcome to an episode of Watercooler, hosted by me, Matt Fondelier. This is the show where Chris Loxamana usually kicks it with a couple people that used to work for Corolla and a couple people who don't. But Chris is not here today. So instead, I am joined by three of my favorite coworkers. First, in clockwork order based on this screen I'm looking at, because we're also recording on different software. This is going to be fun, folks. Mike Dawson's here. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what is crapping in? I'm in North Hollywood.
Oh, that's right. Chris says the locations.
It's all right, man. I'm helping you out here. You out.
No, this is totally new for me because usually Gary hosts the show and Chris isn't here. But Gary is, in fact, here, coming to us live from what appears to be a very blurry day in Los Angeles. Gary Smith, welcome.
Am I blurry?
You're not, but your background is.
Oh, yeah. No, it's very blurry in my background, but it's great to be here. I'm in downtown Los Angeles, a very blurry downtown Los Angeles.
Well, thank you. Thanks for making it out on this lovely Monday evening. And last but certainly not least, all the way in Long Beach, California, Kalen Bean.
What's going on?
Oh, just trying to host a podcast.
Doing a good job.
Get the band together.
Great bang up job so far.
Yeah.
Yep.
I approve.
I like how you described it as an episode of the Watercooler.
Yeah.
It was high confidence Matt there. Welcome to an episode of the Watercooler. Not another episode, not a fantabulous episode, just an episode. Welcome.
Well, at this point, my producer brain is going crazy because Dawson has been glitching the entire time so far. So I don't know how I can host the show.
Because nobody is glitching on my end.
It was only once we started. He was perfectly fine the whole time leading up to it.
But Matt, here's the good news is that you're going to get local video from this software as well. So you can just lay it in and it'll look perfect. It won't be, it's just, that's only an extra hour or so of your life.
Yeah, that won't be happening. But you could watch the episode, I believe, on our YouTube page. What's our YouTube URL? I have no idea. YouTube.com/watercooler?
Actually, the Watercooler YouTube does not get used for this show. This goes on Chris's personal YouTube channel. So
all right, cool.
Search Chris Loxamana YouTube, and you can find it.
So I got to send this file to Chris, too. Okay, this is going to be fun. Hopefully people hear this episode.
They're hearing it.
All right, good.
Will they see it?
It's an episode.
That's really the question.
Yes.
So before we get into the seggies, because we got seggies, we got comments. What'd you guys do this weekend? What's new? Anybody else watch the David Fincher movie on Netflix? I'm sure just Keelan.
I did. I'm going to review it later in the show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Gary, Dawson, you guys aware of said movie?
I'm very aware. I have not watched it yet because I was spending time with my family most of the weekend, and that's not exactly something you can throw on around the kiddo. But I hope to, pending flicking the bean. We'll see. I hope this doesn't.
Who is David Fincher?
He's a acclaimed director.
You know who David Fincher is.
That part is I could get that part, but what is he directed?
Social Network might
Fight
be
Club?
his most popular.
Okay.
Yep. Also Seven. Zodiac.
Gone Girl.
Can't wait for the flicking.
I'm excited as well. So Gary, you said you spent time with your family this weekend. Good times. Everyone doing good?
Great times. Everyone's doing pretty good. I put up the Christmas lights last night, which I know is blasphemous to some people, but to my 4-year-old, it's the greatest thing in the world and made his world. So that was fun. And, did a little yard work at some point and just, very hung out in the burbs type of weekend.
That's great. I don't know how I feel about the Christmas lights this early, though. You're right.
Well, here's the thing that I will say in my own defense is we do white lights. It's a one string of white lights that goes across the front of the house. It's not, ostentatious or like all the different colors or anything like that. So I feel like I can get away with putting them up a little earlier as a result of that. When he gets a little older, I agree with you. They will not go up until the day after Thanksgiving at earliest. But for now, when he's young, I don't have the picture handy that I can show, but I took a picture with him looking at the lights right after they turned on, and you see the look on his face and you would soften pretty quick.
This is also coming from the guy that puts his Halloween decorations up in September.
Yeah, all right. Well, That's true.
And uses stemless glassware during the week only.
Yeah. You really don't have a leg to stand on that.
That's true. Doss, how about you? I know you said you had an extravagant Halloween, handing out the candy. Are you expecting carolers, within the next week? How decorated is Nahoka at this point?
Some couple neighbors got some lights up.
Do you have lights? Is that
Nothing.
even something you would ever do?
I'm thinking I want to, but there's a level of effort I'm not sure I'm capable of.
Well, Dawson, I will say that there is
I even have the time.
There is a lazy-ish way to go about it, which is what I do. Instead of actually getting up there and like staple gunning the lights in so that they look absolutely perfect, I buy these clips off Amazon that you can just sort of shove onto the edge of your house, like the 2x4s that run along the edge of the roof. You just shove one of those on there every 4 feet and just clip them right in. And they don't look perfect, but I got the whole house done in 15 minutes last night or something like that.
I'll probably do my porch.
Yeah.
I think that'll look nice.
Just get one of those little miniature trees and then decorate that. Stick that on your porch. Done.
Yeah.
The tree at this time of year, it might be a bridge too far for me. I don't know if you can put the tree out until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I totally agree with
Put
that.
a turkey on top.
Turkey tree.
There
Now
you
we're
go.
talking.
Yeah.
Speaking of that and speaking of the dog barking, I have sort of a unique scenario coming up this year, which is that, my wife and I, we get a Christmas tree every year and we go pretty hard with the presents. But this is the first year that I have a little puppy in my house. And this puppy's favorite pastime is ripping Amazon boxes apart. Like every Amazon box that comes into our house, once it's emptied out, it gets put in front of the dog. And she just goes to town and completely destroys it. And so now I'm in the situation where we are absolutely going to have presents under our tree, but I'm convinced that not a single present will last more than like a day with the terror that is Tiki. What do you guys suggest? You guys have had dogs. Is this a problem you've run into? I don't want to put a fence around the Christmas tree, but the Christmas fence may be a children's story coming to you soon. I don't know.
Oh, you got a puppy, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's what you could do, Matt, is
tear anything apart.
You could just ship the presents to California.
Yeah, no, that'll be happening too, but not all of them. I will not be in California for Christmas this year. So like the ones that go to my family, yes, they will be shipped, but there'll be gifts to my wife that will be under the tree.
I don't know. I mean, frankly, if you don't think you can train that out of the dog, then you might just have to do the presents appear Christmas Eve and have that be a new tradition.
Is the tree located near a shelf or a high flat surface? You might just need to do elevated presents.
No, but maybe I should put the Christmas tree right next to the fireplace, like right under the hearth there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be a really safe place for it.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever known anyone who does the entire tree decoration and all the presents appear on like while the kids are asleep on Christmas Eve going into Christmas morning?
No, there's usually some presents that they go under the tree a week or so before, come a distant relative sending one in, might as well put it under the tree and wait. I've known of families who do that. They the kids go to sleep on Christmas Eve, then they bring in the Christmas tree, they decorate the whole thing, put all the presents under it, and then the kids wake up and the tree's there, but it hasn't been there all of December.
That's
weird.
Yeah, don't you want to decorate the tree with the kids?
I would, yeah, for sure. But some people like the illusion that Santa brings everything, which I don't know. I will say one of the coolest things I've ever seen is that I was at someone's house and I had been going to this person's house for a while. I was producing a podcast for them and we were recording out of his house. And after several episodes of this not coming up, somebody else said to this man, "Have you shown him the Christmas tree?" And I go, "What the hell are you talking about? It's the middle of July. Like, what do you mean, show me the Christmas tree?" And this person had a compartment built into their house where an 8-foot Christmas tree could be stored fully decorated. And it just sat there all year. And then it could just be rolled right out. And it was all completely done. I thought that was a fucking really cool idea.
That's fucking crazy.
That is crazy.
Dawson, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I know. Christmas should be enjoyed. It just seems weird doing it Christmas Eve, and then what? It's over. It's over. You get that day, and then.
I completely agree with you. I think that you should be shopping for your Christmas tree the weekend after Thanksgiving, like an American.
Good call. Have you guys done any holiday shopping, by the way? I know it is still the middle of November, but since we brought it up, my family's...
Fuck that. Cyber
Black
Monday
Friday?
Or bust, baby.
Yeah.
Monday. Come on. No Black Friday. You couldn't pay me to go out and fucking shop in the world on Black Friday.
Yeah.
I would think it wouldn't be quite as bad anymore, right? Because so many people are just doing the Cyber Monday. I mean, in today's world, the Black Friday isn't like it was.
I think it's still probably pretty bad.
10 years ago, right?
What I've noticed this year, which I feel is getting way more aggressive than it ever has, is I'm already seeing all kinds of ads for like Black Friday sales start now. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's fucking November 12th or whatever it was when I was watching. Like,
right.
Were you seeing these, Dawson? These were during football. I was seeing this. Yeah. It's like Best Buy's Black Friday deals start right now. Like, huh? Black Friday can't be a fucking season. It's not Toyotathon.
Yeah.
My mom and my auntie Fran, and they were like almost the same age, kind of close to the same age, because Auntie Fran was my Nana's little sister, and my mom was like the second child, my Nana's second child. So they were pretty close in age, and they would go to the shopping mall on the Friday after Thanksgiving every year because no one was ever there. Mm-hmm. And this is like in mid to late 60s. And it only took, 40 years to fuck that up. Less than that.
Well,
they were like it's the best. It was always the best day to shop because no one ever went there. And then it became a marketing thing. It's now Black Friday.
Well, and then it bled into basically a lot of these Black Friday things. Now the stores open at the end of Thanksgiving evening. So it's like fucking 10 p.m. Black Friday starts. And it's like, come on, man. Like, no, thank you.
Take a fucking day off.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, you guys want to get into some comments?
Yeah, are we going to pull back the curtain here and admit that we're not actually playing these theme songs and that they're being edited in later? Because I don't know if I can fucking pretend that I just heard the comments song.
Let's all pretend. Ready? It's happening right now.
Now it's time for listening.
Now which thing are we doing? Because we have no idea which song is just playing.
This is our comments, which are from our Facebook group. God damn it, Gary. That's going to happen a little bit later.
Sorry, Matt.
Oh, geez. Well, listen, we have a Facebook group. I don't know if you guys have heard of it before, but you should join if you haven't already. Facebook.com/groups/Bobo Boy Army Worldwide LLC. Answer a couple questions. We're probably going to let you in. It's mostly just to keep the bots out. Now, this first comment comes, we actually read it last week, but Dawson had already left the show, and I felt it was critical to bring it back up so that Dawson could hear it. This is a comment from Kevin Garrett. It says, I feel like I say the word era more often than most people because I have a master's in geology. I know one of the guys who works on the geologic time scale, and I can say with absolute confidence that everyone in the science field, I'm assuming he meant to say, pronounces it era, A-I-R, era. The dictionary agrees. That was a weird one to get aggro over. What say you, Doss?
I say you're wrong. It's an era. It's not an era.
Well, there you have it, folks. I don't know.
Yeah, that's concrete.
That.
There you go.
Yeah. Glad we settled
Go
that.
play with rocks, buddy. Go play with rocks.
Wow, he just geology shamed him.
You did get geology shamed. God damn. All right. Well, this next comment requires a picture to put up, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can do that.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yep.
Huh?
You guys seeing that?
That's disgusting, dude.
Well, what you're looking at is essentially a hollowed out strawberry that's been filled with a part of a hot dog and then topped with what appears to be whipped cream. And it says the strawberry surprise.
That's fucked up, dude.
So Brian Little wants to know, here's something new for y'all to try, and I want to know what you guys think of it.
I mean, that is obvious.
He doesn't seriously think that. He doesn't seriously wonder, because all of us obviously fucking find this disgusting. Every person that exists.
Obviously that's
disgusting.
Gross.
And if
but
you don't, you're a fucking serial killer.
Well, let Kalen make the case for why he's a serial killer, Dawson.
Obviously, it's gross, but I was looking at that going, oh, you could put something else in there, and that actually looks like a delicious treat, especially like a nice holiday strawberry with cream. If, I don't know, you just swapped it out for, I don't know, like a piece of chocolate or a blueberry or something else could go in there instead of that glizzy, and it actually looks delightful.
I'm going to be
a hot dog, and that is not a serious question.
I think you guys are
all not a serious comment.
All of you guys are pussing out about this. Yeah. This could actually be really good. The salty and the sweet, the smoky.
You're disgusting.
Matt, you and Nick Davis. Nick Davis can go.
You ever have breakfast pancakes? You know, a little bit of sausage, put a little bit of strawberry.
Those are just called pancakes, Matt.
You're right. I meant to say breakfast sausage, but then pancakes came out first. But yeah, pancakes with a little bit of strawberry on it. Have some sausage or a little bation next to it. You get a little strawberry, a little pork mixed together. That's not the end of the world.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
That's a raw hot dog.
That's Dawson's correct. That is the difference here. Is that you're talking about two cooked foods that you're eating off the same plate, and I'm not saying you can't combine those two flavors, but the raw hot dog. And just the form factor that it comes in, even if you knew what you were biting into, which I assume that the purpose of this is for the person to not know, but even if you knew
strawberry surprise,
even if you knew what you were biting into, the form factor is offensive. It just, I don't, because you're hitting all the sweet first, long before you get to the salty, and it's just no thank you.
All right, well.
So what I'm hearing is the only problem with that is the hot dog isn't cooked.
Yeah, that's what I hear too.
That's a big problem with it. Yeah.
All right, well, here's another one here from Victoria Gabay. It says, hey, Bobos, I miss you all. Sorry I haven't been around, been working and training, but look, it paid off. The Bobo Boy Army horse missed, and I got reserve champion in our region. Woohoo! We have a couple more shows. We can breathe a little. We'll be training hard, weather permitting. So this is one of our Mala Money meetup subscribers, if I'm not mistaken, and we have seen this horse missed many a time on our meetup. So glad to know the championship is going strong here.
That's awesome. Nice. I like that we have an official Bobo Boy Army horse.
Not many podcasts have an official horse.
I should really try to explain that at the next cocktail party I'm at and watch my wife die inside.
Just be thankful they're not serving raw hot dog stuffed strawberries at the cocktail party.
I mean, who knows? You don't know what kind of cocktail parties I get invited to, Matt.
Here's another one from Jeffrey Lee. It says, Dawson, I was at the Thunderdome for that ESPN basketball game when the tortillas flew in 1997.
I was at school at that time. That's when I graduated, the spring of 97, but I was not at that game.
Wait, what do you mean that game? You made it sound like that happened every game. That was one.
It did happen at every home game. The game he's talking about was the year the Gauchos won their league and were in the tournament.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't mean that year, the year I did it. He meant that year that they were in, they've been in a few other times, but that's the way I understood it.
Speaking of which, my school's looking pretty good for going to the tournament. We just beat Duke at home, at their home, and we launched from number 12 to number 3.
That's pretty fucking huge.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Way to go, sports.
Way to go.
There are several comments here relating to sports, but I'm skipping over them because I don't get what they reference. But there is one here from Steve Chappelle or Steve Chappell. It says not one, but 2 pods referenced Encyclopedia Brown, and an episode of Dateline also referenced it. And then somebody else commented that it was also recently a category on Jeopardy. So I know
Wow.
neither Gary nor Keelan
What the
were
fuck?
familiar.
I still have no idea what it is.
It's like a kid's
They're
detective
children's novels.
Sherlock Holmes.
It's a
book.
kid's
I think
Sherlock Holmes.
I'm marginally aware of what Encyclopedia Brown was, but it's not something that's like fucking canon for me.
I would love to know what Dateline episode that was that they referenced Encyclopedia Brown, because I want to watch that Dateline. So
yes, I agree.
Please let me know, dude.
Well, please let us know in the comments on our Facebook group if you're listening to this. I got one more here, and I bring it up for two reasons, and they'll become self-apparent in a second here. First one is from Andrew Richmond. It says, listening back to the old Cheeseball episodes, I've stumbled upon the toilet paper gate episode, and I need to know, was it actually Dawson? Now, I mentioned this for a couple of reasons. One, to, again, encourage people to please go through our archive, listen to our old episodes. We're going to be working on a segment where we will actually play clips from the old episodes and then comment on it in real time. But I also bring it up because I vaguely remember this, which, and I don't know if you guys do, but I seem to recall this was at Corolla Studios. We have a shared bathroom with a men's restroom that has both a sit-down toilet and a urinal. And I believe somebody put a wad of paper in the urinal, and then, or rather, the wad of paper was there at some point. And somebody then peed on the paper, making it even more difficult to get out. Now, again, not having heard this audio, I seem to recall all of us thought that it was Dawson, and then Dawson came on the air. I wish I had this clip.
I can tell you
on
exactly
the air with like irrefutable proof that it was not you or something.
No, here's what happened.
All I know is it wasn't me. I don't remember anything else about it. All I know is it wasn't me.
I remember.
Here's what I will say is that what happened, Matt has described this expertly, and an investigation was launched after this was discovered. And it was like a studio-wide, like, go around, back in the day when everyone was there, it would oftentimes come down from the top, like, go interview every single person and get their answer. And the reason that there was controversy was because Dawson said something of like, could have been me or something. Like he opened the door the tiniest bit when no one else would open the door, and then as soon as he did that, he then tried to slam it shut.
Yeah, I do remember this vividly because I was essentially like the janitor at the time. I would clean the studios, so it was my job to clean the bathroom. And as soon as I walked into that bathroom and saw a huge wad of toilet paper, wet used toilet paper in the urinal, I was like, fuck no, dude. No, not only am I not cleaning this, but whoever did this is gonna have to answer for this because I am not cleaning this. So I think it was me that launched the investigation into that.
Yeah, sounds right. So the mystery continues then. Dawson is still denying that it is him.
I think he opened the door. He was like, yeah, it might have been me. And then everyone else was such a firm no that he at that point had to take the fall for it, even though he even back then did not remember whether it was him or not.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
When I do shit over there, I take responsibility for everything I've done. So it's it's not out of character for me to deny this and be correct.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Those were our comments, and there are no outros, so we don't have to pretend like there's one playing right now.
There would be an outro if it was Patreon, though, right?
That's right. Hey, what about our Patreon, Gary? Can you tell us about that?
Hey, man. Well, if you're listening to this show and you've made it this far in, then clearly you like this kind of noise. We do exactly 100% more noise each week for the Patreon subscribers that can subscribe at $5, or there are higher tiers to get you more things like our movie Club you see. Is that really?
That's pretty good.
Good job.
Still doing that. And also we have the aforementioned Mallow Money meetups that Victoria Gabay is a subscriber to, where we all just hang out and shoot the shit, and everyone's cool there. So we talk a little bit more freely than we even do on the show. So you can get some tea over there. There's definitely in the We Ride at Dawn episode, I mentioned that the meetup was going to be lit, and boy, was it. It was definitely pretty lit. So go to patreon.com/watercooler if you like this show. Get the other weekly show that we do, and take a look at the offerings and see if you maybe want to join the movie club or gotta get in on the Mall of Money meetups. There's all kinds of fun happening over there.
Also, check it out. If you go to the Patreon, you don't have to hear ads like these ones that are going to play right. Let me write this time code down right now.
But are they? If you're listening on Patreon, no, they're not.
Are they? Good call. All right. Well, hey, not. I know I'm hosting and it's weird to fire off the intro for my own Seggy, but good news is I don't actually have the ability to fire it off right now. So let's all sit for like, I don't know, a few seconds here and pretend that the Chez Fondelay intro is playing.
Oh no! What type of foods might we hear today? What might be the price? What might be the venue?
Let's find out.
It's time for Gary to say,
hey Matt. There's a delay.
What's on the menu?
Hey, there we go. Thank you. Well, guys, let me tell you, this is actually the first of a 2-part Chez Fondelay.
Where will the second part be consumed, Matt?
It will also be in Austin, but it will be...
No, it will be on Patreon. You fucking idiot. I'm underhand lobbing balls to you, and you're going, ooh.
I'm trying to do a lot right now. We went to East Austin just on a whim. You know, it was Easton. One of those days. Yeah, Easton. There you go. Nice. Well,
my wife would be requesting $1 right now.
Yeah, exactly. So we just decided to go out for cocktails, and then afterwards we ended up going out for dinner. But first, I'm going to tell you guys about the cocktails that we went to. Dinner will be on the Patreon, of course. We went to a place that might sound somewhat familiar to you California folk, which is a place called Boss's Office.
Similar to Father's Office.
That's right. One of, I will say, probably one of my first like true forays into the culinary world was at Father's Office in Culver City, which was like a burger and beer bar. But the whole thing there was you're not allowed to make any changes to anything. And
that's fucking bullshit.
It is a little bit bullshit, but also it forced me into trying like crazy burgers with like blue cheese and stuff that now seems pedestrian to me now. But at the time it was like a big deal to try some of these foods. So
I was wondering what you meant by your first foray into culinary service.
That is what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant.
You got to think that it streamlines the kitchen a little bit better though. When the orders just come in, you know exactly what it is. No fucking substitutions. Screw you.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to do this fast.
I'm sure it is, but I'm giving you $23 for a fucking cheeseburger. So please feel free to leave the onions off.
Yeah, that's true as well.
I mean, maybe that makes me a dickhead, but I'm just saying, like, you're a fucking restaurant, pal. If I'm going to give you like an exorbitant amount of money, then let's have a business here.
Yeah. Part of what I'm paying for is for you to take the food off for me. Yeah, I'm with you, Gary. I'm with you.
I respect the no substitutions. I go, all right, like I'm all in now, but if this doesn't rock my world, then
well, and I think that's why they get away with it, Kaylin, because I was like staunchly against this, but I can't remember if it was Matt who took me there, but whoever I went there with like was making a big deal about how good this was and you got to try it. And I basically went in there with an attitude of like, I don't like this, fuck you, so you have to knock it out of the park. And It did. I went back there fucking numerous times, and I would go back there right now so you have to. I think you just have to earn the no substitutions. Because if I go to a no substitutions place and it's a 7, I'm never going back there.
Yeah.
When I go to a restaurant, I don't make any substitutions because these people are in the restaurant business, and I like to trust they know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, but I've met too many people that are fucking idiots, Dawson. Sometimes you got to make an executive decision.
Second time around,
it's also got to be pricey
again, but I would change it. Second time around, I will request a change if I think one is warranted. So
fair enough.
But first time in, go ahead, feed me, dude. You own the restaurant. I don't.
Yeah, listen, I feel like you guys are all three of you guys are right. I mean, I agree. I'm like Dawson. I'm just going to get what they have, but I agree. If you're allergic to onion, then I don't want to fucking die eating your fucking burger. Take the onion off, dude. So
also a great just life pro tip that when you are making your substitutions and you're ordering something like over the phone, if you have a place that continuously ignores your request for, let's say, no tomatoes, like I would order, then I started calling them up going, no tomatoes. I have a tomato allergy. And then they would never, ever fuck that order up again. So if you don't want them to fuck up your substitutions over the phone, tell them you have an allergy. They will not fuck it up after that.
I used to be a dick and order my fries at McDonald's with no salt. And that meant they had to cook it with fresh. They had to cook fresh fries.
Yeah, I mean that's a common hack.
Salt.
Yeah.
I will say that I've had a much higher batting average making substitutions using an online order as opposed to trusting a human. I feel like when it comes printed out for them, like fucking from the computer of like how the substitutions work, it's a lot higher average than like the person who's actually jotting it down, listening to you over the phone.
That's true too.
Well, let me bring this back around by saying today Shay is not Father's office, but in fact a place called Boss's office, which I went to strictly because I thought maybe it's going to be a little bit like this other place. There's no reason why it should, but you know, the names are similar enough. Let's fucking go. And so go we did. And while they had a much smaller menu, really the focus of this place is the cocktails.
What a shitty name. Who wants to get called into the boss's office? Why would you go to this place? Aside from, I understand why you went, but I'm saying like, the boss's office is the last place I want to be going.
I definitely would not see that and go, oh, this looks good. I'll try this. So the name does not, unless it's some kind of super fancy restaurant that has its own, you know, clientele and way of getting out there. This doesn't seem like the place you just drive by and go like, oh, I think I'll try the boss's office. That sounds good. No.
You know, it's right. It's really on like the farthest east end of East Austin. So it's not even really in the main Easton. It's not really in the main downtown part of it. So it did kind of have a little bit of an exclusivity to it. You know, the parking was certainly a lot easier. And it did have kind of like a corporate feel inside, but really what it comes down to is, are the drinks good? And they did one of those things that I've seen a number of cocktail bars do, which is all the drinks are named after famous people. And that actually
I already hate this place.
That's a cop out.
It's a little bit of a cop out. And I got to tell you, like I was debating between two drinks. One was called the Anthony Bourdain and the other was called the Willy Wonka. And I was like,
that's not a famous person. That's a fucking made up character. Go fuck yourself. Fuck this place. Fuck this place right in the ear. I hate this place. This place.
At least have some symmetry. Just name them after famous bosses.
Okay. Yeah, no, there's another famous, actually a very famous real life duo. They had a drink called the Bert and Ernie named after those two legendary comedians.
Bosses. They didn't have a boss hog though?
No, they did not. The Anthony Bourdain is it's described on the menu as being sultry yet traditional.
Oh, how gay.
Jesus.
It was in a great way. In a great way.
Yeah, sure. This was sort of their take on the Manhattan.
Well, Anthony Bourdain was gay, so I guess it makes sense.
Incorrect, sir.
No, he wasn't.
I don't think so.
He was very publicly not.
This was one the Anthony Bourdain cocktail was served under like a cloche, one of those big glass domes that they fill with smoke, and then they take it off in front of you, and the smoke just billows out and all over the place. Gary, come on. That's awesome.
Matt, come on. That's fucking ridiculous.
Well, it was an incredible experience for me. I really enjoyed it. The drink itself was fine.
Play the video.
No, I don't have a video of that. But what I do have,
I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all.
No, I told you guys.
One of your phones has a video of that fucking glass thing being removed and the smoke billowing everywhere. And I absolutely don't believe you if you claim otherwise.
I told you guys that we went to a place that did cart cocktails where they bring the cart by and they make the cocktail in front of you. And I busted out my phone to film it, and the fucking flash came on, and it was such a humiliating experience. I don't know if I'll ever pull my phone out again during a presentation. I just don't know.
All right, so let's take a poll here. Either of you believe that bullshit?
No.
Because I definitely do not.
All right, I'm going to tell you guys about another cocktail that I had. It's the last one I'm going to talk about. Another
what is this? Is this one
another famous person from history. It's called the Maleficent. And it is a festive amber nostalgic cocktail according to the menu. It's got brandy, it's got cinnamon, it's got rye, apple, But here's where it gets real crazy. And I'm going to show you guys a picture of this. They took...
I don't have a video of that.
It's not video. It's a picture. They took a pomegranate ice ball that, as the drink is consumed, that pomegranate ice ball melts and actually changes the flavor and the profile of the drink. And what's that on top of it, you say? That is fucking caramel and peanuts. And that also falls into the drink as you're drinking it. Or you could just take your finger, just fucking scoop some caramel into your mouth. And let me tell you, this nostalgic was the right word. It really was like a fancy caramel apple dipped into a brandy cocktail. And not only did I consume the cocktail, but afterwards, I just took the stick and just mashed up that fucking pomegranate ice ball and had myself a pomegranate like smoothie at the bottom of it. 10 out of 10. Probably one of the best cocktails I've had all year. It might be the cocktail of the year because of how inventive it was and how many different flavors and textures it had. Wow, it was amazing.
I have to say, I was just a bit distracted by the fact that you scoffed at the idea that there would be any media attached to these drinks in any future Chez Fondolays. And the very next fucking drink you have, there's media attached to the... Yeah, okay.
There's a difference between taking a video while the waiters are standing over my table versus slyly snapping a pic when I'm being left alone.
I would say there's the exact same chance of fucking Flash coming on. So what are you talking about?
All right. Well, let me just say a very fun cocktail experience. The name of the bar aside, I probably will go back there again just because it was kind of creative. And an amazing meal awaits us all on today or later this week's Patreon. But until then, that's what's on the menu.
Nice.
All right.
Well done, dude.
All right, guys, here we go. Time to play an intro later in post.
Know one thing. Your opinion's what we need. So killing it on the mic.
That's
Respecto women.
As I said, today I am reviewing The Killer, which came out on Friday on Netflix. Again, it is directed by David Fincher, who once again did Fight Club and Seven and The Social Network. I do feel like some of his earlier movies were more home runs than some of his last couple ones, but he is a great director. The movie was written by Andrew Kevin Walker, who also wrote Seven. And Matt, you can help me with this term because I don't exactly know what it means, but he was a script doctor.
When you punch up a script that's already been written.
Yeah. It's like a ghostwriter. You don't get credit for it necessarily.
Well, he got credit for being a script doctor for Fight Club and Event Horizon, which, if you have not seen, is a fucking awesome horror movie that I had no idea was going to be a horror movie when I started watching it.
Event Horizon's a horror movie?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, no way. It is it's creepy.
And I won't be.
And it's from like I think the mid to late 90s. Like it feels like a little dated, but it'll give you nightmares. Like it's really fucked up. I'll always watch it when I see it on TV. The Killer stars Michael Fassbender. I feel like it's been a little while since I've really seen him in something. He's got another movie coming out soon too that looks pretty funny, about like a soccer coach, kind of almost like a Kicking and Screaming.
Next Goal Wins, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's right.
Like Waititi's new movie.
I thought that looked pretty good too. The movie is 2 hours long. It has a 86% with the critics and a 62% with the audience on Rotten Tomato. And I'm always nervous, especially with these movies that just came out.
We've been burned too many times, Kalen. We've been burned too many times.
I'll get to it. I get nervous that I'm going to be giving away too much in the review, especially when like a brand new movie's come out. Probably a lot of people still haven't seen it. So I'll just say that this movie, it's about an assassin who's forced to hunt down and kill a few people. There you go. That's all you really need to know.
Assassins doing assassin things. And I've been waiting quite a while for this movie. I feel like I saw a trailer months ago. And to Gary's point, I would have hyped the shit out of this movie and had my expectations set incredibly high
except for the fact that it is a Netflix movie. That one little detail there was enough to halt a lot of my expectations. Never again will I let another Triple Frontier happen to me, because that was just the ultimate burn. After Triple Frontier, I could no longer...
Frontier was the one with Hunnam and a few other guys in it, right?
Oscar Isaac, yeah, Charlie Hunnam, Ben Affleck.
I rewatched that, and I will say we hated on it a little too hard. It's not great, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
To be fair, I just generally don't like Charlie Hunnam. I don't know what, he always takes me out of a movie. There's very few roles I really like him in, but I do fucking love Oscar Isaac. He's one of my favorite actors at the moment. Yeah. And the intro to that movie, or that like first scene where Oscar Isaac is in Mexico and they're battling that cartel, that scene is pretty sweet. It's pretty good. But I didn't continue watching the movie after that because I know what happens. I was like, no way. But that scene is pretty sweet. Still, I'm pretty sure the movie sucks. When it comes to this movie, it is definitely slower than I was expecting, especially in the beginning. Takes a little while to get going. When the action scenes do happen, they're pretty fucking sweet for the most part. There's some pretty awesome fight scenes in there. The character is pretty awesome too. Michael Fassbender plays it great. He's just a no-nonsense, no bullshit assassin. Really comes throughout the whole movie. There's not really any fat on the movie, though. It's very linear. You pick up just at this one point in this assassin's life, and then you follow him through this predicament he's gotten himself into. There's not really any backstory. There's not really any character arc that I could tell. It's just kind of a snapshot in this guy's life. That being said, I did enjoy the film. It's slower than I was anticipating. I was honestly starting to get a little disappointed with it, but it really picks up like halfway through. In the second half, I thought was really, really strong. Didn't blow me away, but definitely entertaining. It's made incredibly well, of course. The acting, writing, directing, cinematography, music, it's all done at the highest level. But I don't think it quite lived up to the exciting movie that I had been anticipating. There's definitely exciting moments in it, but it just didn't quite get there for me. Nevertheless, I did still enjoy it, even though not quite as much as I was hoping I would. I gave it a flickable 7.8 out of 10.
All right.
Very reasonable.
Yeah, well said. I think you reviewed that well, and I appreciate you making that pretty damn spoiler-free. Good.
Yeah, you know what would have been right there if you were listening on Patreon?
Well, what would have that been? Yeah,
it'd be an outro.
That's right. And I suppose that's maybe a good time to bring it all home here and get our plugs in. Gary, do you want to go first and continue with what I think you were leading into?
Yeah, sure. Be sure to check out the aforementioned Patreon for this show, patreon.com/watercooler. It for as little as $5 a month, which is less than a cup of coffee these days, you can get 4 more episodes, some months 5 of this show. And you can get this version of the show that you may be listening to with ads, ad-free, which is a little bonus that is a new perk for subscribers. So be sure to check that out. It's a ton of fun. If you have gotten this far and haven't turned it off, you are definitely going to enjoy the Patreon because it is all the same silliness and sometimes even a little bit more silly. So patreon.com/watercooler. We adore your support. We thank you for it. We take it very seriously, and we try to deliver a good product. So please check that out, patreon.com/watercooler.
And we should have our 5th host, Chris Loxamana, the OG, should be here later this week. So,
and we should also have a movie night, a movie club coming out, and potentially a Mall of Money meetup sometime soon as well.
What's the name of the movie again? Just
the next 3 days featuring Gerard Butler.
If you need help remembering it, Kalen, we're going to try to record it in the next
3 days. That's very smart, Matt.
Okay.
Good call.
Pretty good chance. Try to watch that one. I just watched it this last weekend, and Dawson, have you rewatched it yet? You're muted. You muted yourself. You got Dawson, you're muted.
It looks like he's saying no. I think he's saying no.
Muted.
I haven't watched
it.
I'm not going to watch it. I don't plan to watch it.
I haven't watched it yet.
All right. Well,
I gotta watch it. Thanks for
I haven't either.
Me.
Yep. It's all good.
Well, text Matt if you want to fucking not be happy about the fact that you have to watch it, because Matt dropped some null on me today, and I went from like marginally interested to kind of bummed out that I have to watch it now. So thank you for that service, Matt. I believe the direct quote. I believe the direct quote, Kaylin, that got to me was, "You'll feel every minute of it."
Oh,
thanks, man. Fucking
let's
dope.
just say, Kaylin, you thought the killer was slow. I hope you brought a Lamborghini because it could take a little while for this one to pick up. But yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
All right.
We're gonna have a great time talking about it. That's for damn sure. Dawson, what do you got to plug?
I am going to be in Austin at the Vulcan Gas Company the Wednesday after Thanksgiving. I'm doing a show there called Get Ripped. And the idea is I got to do 7 minutes completely sober. And then I go have a few drinks and smoke a couple of joints backstage. And then I got to go out and do another 7 minutes. It's going to be fucking fun. Tickets are on the Vulcan Comedy Club website, Vulcan Gas Company. And it's Wednesday, November 29th. And I believe one Matt Fondelier will be there.
Yes, so. I absolutely will.
Doss, just... Oh, okay. Yeah. Good call. Sorry, in my mind, the Wednesday after Thanksgiving, I was transposing, but you're right. That is the Wednesday after Thanksgiving. My mistake.
Kaylin, what do you got to plug?
I just want to plug our awesome Facebook group. It is a ton of fun to be in that group and to see all the posts that our fans make, including hot dogs inside of strawberry surprises and, that sort of nonsense. You can find many more posts like that there. And it's a whole lot of fun. So go join our Facebook group and we'll probably let you in.
Yeah, just answer the questions. We try to make it bot free because if the bots get in there and start fights over nonsense, it's not nearly as fun. So yeah. I agree with Kaylin. You can see my wife shame me because she likes to go in there and talk shit on me. Good time.
That's true. That is true. And as for me, well, I will also be on this week's Patreon show, so please check that out. And hey, since you obviously all have Netflix, this Wednesday there is a stand-up special called Matt Rife, Natural Selection. And it's probably going to be pretty funny. You should probably check it out, and you'd be doing me a solid if you did that. So I think that's going to do it for us here at the Water Cooler. We will see you later this week for another episode and maybe even a movie club at WC. All right, let's do it.